month, we're going to start our mount series. So I'm here, I'm sitting in mount. The 101 breakdown mount is when you are sitting on your stomach / chest. They don't have your legs caught anywhere, and you're here, right? We all understand that concept. The reason I like mount is I like ripping people's arms off of their body because they signed a waiver and said I couldn't. Their whole thing. But most people are pretty good at defending and escaping mounts. So we're going to work on some high-level attacking here and being able to chain your submissions together. Because the biggest problem I see that we run into this weekend at Naga, previous Fujis, things of that nature is we're really good at hitting that first attack. Our second attack is about half shit. Our third attack is either not there or absolutely terrible. It's just kind of a flop tap something. So we're going to start working on chaining our submissions together a little bit better. So when we're here, I'm sitting here in the mount. I like to keep a decent knee pinch here, just to keep him from getting wiggly. A lot of guys will start tripping and doing stuff and moving their legs out lazy. They'll start pushing at my knees. I just like keeping them pinched just to stop all that nonsense. So I'm here. Now, a lot of guys are going to go to what I call the home alone defense. Right? So when they go to this home alone defense, if you're in the collars, you can start gripping stuff there. But no-gi, it really starts to limit your attacks. There's not a lot of choking that you can do here without really curling the head. So when I go here, all I like to do is find the outside edge of his elbow and the inside edge of his wrist. Because I'm going to look to push his elbow up and his wrist out. So when I'm here, I'm driving up and out there. Here. And as soon as this arm kind of breaks this outside plane right here, in between here and there, guys are pretty strong, right? They bench, they work out. A lot of guys lift in jiu-jitsu and are powered by Acai and Jesus. So we get here, right? Boom, I press here. All I'm going to look to do is get my elbow right to the cup of his ear. And I'm going to try to get this arm as far away from his body as possible. As soon as that ear hits here, I'm going to grab the wrist. I like to go no thumb here. And I'm going to drag it in and push his head out. Two things that's going to do. One, give me the wrist control I want, but it's also going to throw his spine out of alignment. Like we've talked about, the more I can twist and turn their spine, the weaker people generally get. So I'm here, right? Now, once we get here, I go wrist under the tricep here. Now, couple details that we're going to work on today when finishing. So you've all seen this from our Americana guys, right? One, I throttle the wrist forward. Right? I get throttled all the way backwards. That forward throttle motion. I'm going to pull his elbow all the way until it hits me in the knee. Right? As soon as it hits that, I'm going to attach his wrist to the mat, and I'm going to paint with it as I try to drag his elbow up my hip. That's the big details on this. Because what a lot of people try to do, James doesn't have great shoulders, right? But when I'm here, a lot of people try to do this, right? James is tough, he's going to fight, but it's not great, right? He still doesn't feel great. This is how people are able to counter, because we attack here. The second I go here, do you see James's hips move there? Saw the slight discomfort that immediately comes. All I'm trying to do is drag this up, that part of my knee. That's how you hit an aggressive area. Biggest thing on this, guys, is focusing on the little details. The little details is the difference in between hitting it at a white belt level and a white belt. It's not magic, I promise. They don't slide a little booklet into your gi when they tie a black belt on and tell you, hey, here's the magic tricks. It's just details. So, we're here. James is fighting, I've gotten to mount. Great day, right? I find his elbow and his wrist. And I'm pushing with my chest and my back, and I'm loading everything in here. James is a big, strong kid. He's on JJ's strength conditioning program. If I just push here, it's going to be real fucking hard, right? It's unlikely I just yank his arm off unless I'm fighting Delaney. Even that's not a for sure. Delaney's getting real angry and strong. So when I'm here, I'm dropping my chest behind, getting that arm out. As soon as I get this arm down, I get my elbow in his ear, and I pull it back. Wrist comes under, here. Throttle that wrist. Drag the elbow back. Pop his elbow up just for fun if you need to. If he has bad shoulders like James, pull slowly. Because all of us can do this right now with the normal amount of pain that we wake up with in the morning. If you leave with any additional pain, I will slap your partner. Questions on this? Like I said, we're starting at 101 and we're going to build from here.
Are you feet to kind of look a little bit?
Not really. If you're hitting this correctly, it should be from a solid base. So there's a couple positions you can sit in and mount. I'm in more of what's called a low mount, which is where my hips are directly over his hips. Because right now, James starts to buck and move. Rodeo bull style, right? 8 seconds, I'm hanging out with the bull. I'm riding. Right? I'm here. I'm just keeping my weight over his hips. It makes it really hard for him to do like the Bupa escapes and the things of that nature, where he's trying to lift my hips up and move. What it does make slightly easier is knee outs, elbow escapes. So like if he starts pushing my knee here, my leg's already closer to his legs, so it makes it easier to catch that. Risk reward of it all. Now from here, I can also go to a higher mount, which is where my hips are over his chest. This is better when you start attacking arm bars as opposed to it has its benefits. It makes Kimuring really hard because I'm way over the top of him when you start leaning. It makes it harder to actually hit the effect. So I'm going to start low, and then when we chain this together, I will shift high. As these attacks go up, you'll start seeing me slide higher and higher. Other questions here? Like I said, a couple details. Knee pinch, push with your chest here, throttle down, being at his wrist. Questions, comments, or concerns? 1, 2, 3. I'm here with Mr. Hackett. Good things are happening in my life. Boom. I go, I attach here. Now, there's going to be two basic theories of defense here when I grab this wrist. One is going to be the kind of straight arm defense where he goes to roll his wrist out, you go here. Great, you've all seen the options bar that this opens up pretty quick. Straight arm lock, then if you re-grip, rolls it all the way through. There's a couple more options. So today we're going to work on a different kind of series through here where the guy's going to fight this hand in and try to get his head on top of your forearm. A lot of guys will start using this defense to get themselves in the way. Because even here, you're big and strong, you might be able to just kind of rip their arm off. But it's going to start to get really hard here. So, first thing we're going to do is I'm going to cheat myself up as high as I can. Here. That way, kind of nullified a lot of his being able to move his arms. There's a whole lot of motion of body where his arms are trying to be. And the second thing I'm going to do, I'm going to stop trying to pull the arm this way, and I'm going to pull the arm across his face here. I like to rest a forearm on their face when I'm not being nice. When I'm just explaining it on James, I'm going to not do that because I did like him mostly this weekend. He looked good in this tournament. Here, and as soon as this hand comes from here to over, I'm going to sit this hip here. Keeping that good Americana grip. Now, once I'm here, I'm going to slide this knee as tight up his armpit as I can here. Boom. Tightening in as much as I can. What this also does is put all my weight right on James's ribs. Because I'm a nice person and I like it to make it hard for people to breathe. Like a gentleman. Now, once we're here, I'm going to windshield wiper my knee out, bringing my leg over here. This is going to allow me to fall back. Now, if you have your grip still, you should have a good attachment on the middle of his forearm and on his wrist. All we're going to do to finish here, hand comes over, finds the near side of his wrist, we attach to the chest, finish the knees, finish the arm. Should be nice and tight already because your grip was already here. Now, if you're a savage and you fight weird savage rule sets, you can also break here. But I'm not going to play by those rules today, at least not this moment. So it's called forearm crunch, but you're here and you can pop here. It's not going to break his arm, it's just a dig move. If you ever resist an arm bar too hard on me, that's what I start to do. I just start to grind here. It's real rudeness. So, when I get here, the biggest thing is I'm in this grip and a lot of people try to fight an arm bar at the elbow. Realize, guys, regardless how hard I pull at the elbow right here, I will never finish this arm bar at the elbow. Which is what I watch so many freaking people do at tournaments. How many times have you been in live and you're like, rah! It happens, right? We all get focused. Our arms hooked, we're good, right? All I'm going to do is my hand that was on top is going to come to the bottom. This is the operative hand that is going to attack here. Once I start ripping this hand up, that pinch is what finishes. Now, remember, we don't pull the lever. When we're here, we attach to our chest. This attachment is what gives us the leverage as we fall. I'm pulling his arm up. That helps with two things. One, the natural defense of an armbar is to curl. Which when you fight big, scary, 250-pound dudes, it's not fun when they start to curl your arm. You have to have that experience with fight chunk. It's really good. But when I'm here, I'm attaching this to my chest and pulling because it also stretches everything here. How different is this armbar to here? There. So when I'm here and I fall back, that's what allows for that finish to be tight and immediate. Remember, we don't want, you got me, Daniel. I want get me out of here before he snaps my arm. It's always the goal. So we're here from the start. I'm like, hey man, I wish I could punch you, but I can't, so I got an arm. Boom, he starts fighting that in. Remember, I transfer the wrist that's here on top of his face. I always like to roll him up a little bit and pull my foot in. Now, ideal world, I catch under his elbow and I'm able to drag this up. The real world that we all live in, 50-50 shot, you actually get it. If not, just pull it up. Here, windshield wiper my foot out, pass it over the face. And when I fall, I don't swing myself back. I fall to the seated position. I'm going to hold this and give him a little crunch just for fun. Flip your hand over, tack at the wrist. Here. As I fall back, attach to your chest, extend, pinch the knees. Questions on this? Yes, I'll walk through at least 2 more times. So I'm going to arm across the face and then knee slide. So we're here. Let's say I do it on this other arm because I'm crafty and I can do both sides. Boom, I get here. Boom, he comes up. Boom, I'm bringing it over this way, then sliding that foot up. Now I like to prop guys up a little bit with this back knee if I need to. A lot of guys are going to start turning into you, trying to get this elbow back. It doesn't matter. All I have to do is pressure here. Keep him here. But if you need a wedge this under his back, keep him up. That will allow you to bring the foot over, come here. Once you're here, tack the wrist. Always pull that point. Questions on that? We'll walk through it one more time. Super complex move with a lot of moving pieces, and we've had one question. Let's try that again. Yeah, there's a little bit of a fuck you in this, which is what I like about it. When I go here, guys, realize the second I've gotten to mount, if I do the things I'm supposed to do, it is time and effort that will result in sub, not his decision. Congrats, I'm going to sub you. It's just what I decided to do, not what you decide. And a little bit of that is just a little bit of grindiness, a little bit of I'm going to take what's mine. Capitalism, America, all that. So I'm here, right? Boom, I push, get here. He gets that head in, he just gets stuff in my way. I don't appreciate that, stop it. Here, I slide this foot up. Once we get here, I like to just attach this elbow early, helps me with some tightness here. Boom, my hip flexibility on this side, not great. That's why I do the windshield wiper. Bring it over. Switch under. Fall back, extend the arm, pinch the knees. Final questions on this one? Yeah, because what's going to end up happening is James doesn't suck at jiu-jitsu most days, which we always have to assume our opponents don't suck. It's a real inconvenient thing. So if I get here and James gets his head in, he already doesn't suck because he's countering, right? So the second I go here, and start coming up, James realizes something bad is about to happen. He may not know exactly what, but if I do this to you, Franklin, is anything good happening in this one? So he's going to have one of 2 reactions. One is to roll away from me, which if he does, I just dump. Or he tries to sit back in, which is fine. I just come over the top of it. finish it. Either way, this attachment keeps me safe. Remember, guys, always, 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 if you need more enemies, wrist lock people. Yeah, I mean, always, there's always an armbar hitchhiker escape. But if I'm here, I have this attached and this attached here. It's yeah. That he can run all his feet all his one. I have and I have both feet over. Hitchhiker's really effective when you only have one. That makes sense. So yes, there's always a hitchhiker escape in an armbar. If you go from this grip to here, there's not a lot of space for his thumb to go anywhere fun, even with my children's sized hands. So if my children's sized hands can hold James's man-sized arm, we'll all be alright. Make sense? Here, attach and attach. I will come here to into kind of that wrist grip here. Some of that's going to be made because I'm going to catch into the glove. But I also like, if you look like where your wrist watch sits, that is a natural grip point. I wasn't joking, I have children's sized hands. You don't know that, but the rest of them do. So I have to look for strong hold points. That's one of the ones I like because it's little. Naturally, your hand has to come, your wrist has to come into your wrist here, or arm, or hand. So when I grab here, I actually can get my fingers almost around. It's great. So that's why I attach to here. Fall back and attach here. Like I said, remember, there's always a wrist lock dirtiness somewhere. But obviously, that's not an option. If it's in your way, yes. So like if James is a real big, strong kid, right? He grabs his hands. I always can kick out here. We're gonna go over a couple options for unpacking here in a second. That'll be our next step, is how to unpack someone. There's that here. But always realize if James locks his hands here, I can kickstart my mower, get him out of here. Or the other one, if James grabs his hands, remember you can always pull the arm to you. Yeah, it would still work. So, either way. Makes sense? Uno, dos, tres! So I'm here, right? So, boom, all good things in my life are happening, right? Boom, I get here, he rolls his head in. I come up, boom, I get to here, right? Good things are happening in my life. I've gotten to here. Well, let's say I go to sit out for this armbar. Daniel doesn't suck, unfortunately. He did get a blue belt from me before he ran off to Colorado. Whatever. So, I get here. He's got good defense, right? He's learned that trap defense that I teach you all, right? Really good, especially his hand's under my knee even. That makes clearing this, makes this really hard to clear, right? So, blue belts and up. Blue belts and up, because I don't want you white belts blowing each other. I'm here, right? He keeps his arm in. I really don't appreciate that. All I'm going to do is I'm going to get this hand out of the way. So it is on the wrist. It's going to be out of the way. All we're going to do, I'm going to pass my body side leg over. As soon as that happens, I'm going to fall to this side, here, forearm here, and crunch. If you're like, man, Daniel tapped really quick there, it sucks a whole lot. So I'm here, right? I'm like, I gotta finish the armbar, guys. I promise, I'm gonna finish it. Here. Well, here. Now, I'm gonna keep it loose because I like Dan most days. When I'm here, all I'm trying to do is crunch my feet back and keep my wrist flexed in the middle of his forearm here. It's called a bicep slicer. Depending on the rule set, Naga, surprisingly, you can do this at blue belt. Prison rules, and I love it. Naga had several rules that I'm considering putting in guerrilla warfare in any tournament series I'm involved in, because it is fun. So when I'm here, I get to this position. All you're looking to do is get here and crunch. So blue belts and up, I want you guys working there. White belts, I'm here. All I want your partner to do is clasp their hands. So, I'm here, right? Partner, your opponent is good at jiu-jitsu enough to defend, not good enough to weave their hands well. Boom, all we're gonna do, wrist under, and I'm gonna kickstart my motorcycle here. So I'm here, I'm gonna try to kick my arch of my foot right to his elbow here. As I do that, I'm trying to cross it over here so that it blocks his arm from coming back in. So what a lot of people do is partner grabs in his hands and they're like, rah! And then the partner brings their hand right back because they don't suck. And you're like, rah! And then he brings it right back. So when I'm here, I kick it out and through so that my leg's in the way and I can finish attack. So we get to that same position. I'm here. White belts, I want you guys bringing that knee out. Boom, and it's a jiu-jitsu motion. Now, would I try to heel strike with it several times in a row? No. Even me, who's not a good jiu-jitsu ref, would call you for that. You probably get one though. Kick through. Because guess what? They're going to have their hands locked here. They're going to be very aggressive about holding on to that. So when you come here, pop! I got to do that, instantly go to the wrist. Another detail, guys. This pulling at the wrist when you're armbarring people seems like a very insignificant detail. When I'm here with Daniel, right? Look. Not great, right? And I get to tap finally. Watch the difference. I'm not even going to brace my hips. I'm just going to pull on the floor. How much tighter is that? Now it's real fun. I can even raise it up and it's still tight. When I'm here, I'm pulling this in almost like I'm trying to pull a rope up. And that's what finishes that armbar. Blue belts, make sure you try to get your practice on both, kick out, but if you want to try the bicep slicer, carefully and slowly with your friends. We can all move our arms regularly right now, and I want to continue being able to do that and teach fun stuff. Questions here? Alright, 1, 2, 3.